Hey folks, Ivan here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're not going to work on an industry. No, we're actually going to work on a rail junction. So follow me through this steps and we'll get to work right now. Give me one moment to get back in the first person here. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to apply the inner rail, or inner loop. This is the outer loop, which we're using as a starting point. Since it's already pre-aligned, we're going to go two more of these guys here. Now, yes, I could use the straight tool, the circle tool using a straight degree, but I find that this is just a little bit quicker for this kind of build process. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to switch this so that the 45s angle out that way. And so the next thing we need to do is get some 90s, and we're going to make this corner here, just like so. There we go. And then we're going to go back to the 45s. There we go. And it pre-lines itself back up. That's just great. And then we're going to use that as a spacer. We're going to get another 90. And then we're going to keep repeating this process all the way around. So bear with me while I get this done. And then we're going to do the corner again. And back to the 45. Boom. Boom. The 90. You know what would be great is having like a preset number where you could just drag and drop, kind of like Medieval Engineers, what you're looking for. That would make my life just that little bit more easier to deal with. But either way, that's, it's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get that one in. That one. We'll come back through and we're going to delete the extra pieces, but we need to get this spaced out proper. Which is what we're doing right now. We go, and then the F45, and then we don't actually have to connect this one. What you'll find, actually, for some reason, it doesn't line up. So I'm not sure why these 45s aren't exactly symmetrical, or where the problem lies, I should say. But it doesn't matter. It is what it is, right? So now the reason what we're going to do now is we're going to use the bridge tool after I delete the extra pieces here to connect these, because the ballast is it doesn't go down far enough. I would love to use the ballast instead, but it needs to be at least, I would say, a solid, I don't know, we'll say 5 foot. Assuming this character is 6 foot, yeah, 5 foot, 6 foot would be an adequate amount of this, ballast range. So I'm not sure how realistic that would be, but that would make the whole floating bits a little bit more realistic. So let's go ahead and get the bridge tool in here. Actually, let's demolish these guys here. And what I'll do instead of doing that is I'm going to put in the switches real quick here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that for this side, we're going to go down without ballast, and we're going to go 1, 2, and the third one is the inner loop. And then we got to go over to here, and this one right here, right switch 1 without ballast. Again, if I did it with ballast, it would just it would end in the middle of the air, so it looks god awful. All right, so let's go ahead and delete that. And what I like to do with these is for the inner loops, I want the switch on the inner inside, and for the outer loops, I want the switch on the outside. That is just how I like to do it. Oh, it looks like I I forgot to delete this one. Let's get rid of those just to be on the tidy side. This is actually a save to just kind of show off what I had done. So I originally recorded this and realized that the microphone was not picking up, so I had to redo the whole thing. So disregard the floating pieces that weren't supposed to be there. All right, so let's go ahead and do this guy right here. Again, we want the inner side without ballast, and we just want to make sure. Yep, there we go. Now, the one thing I would love to see added into this is either a longer ballast, or higher, you know, that goes further down, I should say, or some sort of wood structure supporting these. And I get it with the switches. That might not look good, and it might be difficult to get those switches to work. But I'm sure that using like a bridge setup similar to Bridge 2, which I'm not entirely sure why there's railings on both sides, but it only shows, or it gives me one railing. Not sure what to make of that. So, oops. And I wish escape did not go to the menu. And I'm not sure if that's a bug or a feature, to be honest. So, all right. Now, yeah, we need switch 1 without ballast. This one in particular needs to be without ballast. I'll show you in the main game how I got around making these not be floating. A little bit later on. Let's see here, without ballast, and then pointing to the outside. And then sometimes when it shows us it's not connecting, all you have to do is rotate it, and using the 4 or 6 keys, and then it'll all of a sudden magically give you the connection point. All right, let's delete those. And we're going to go over to here. Being very careful not to mix up the points here. And then we need to do the inner, which is also going to be this guy again. And we might be able to get away with a ballast here. Let's see here. Oops. Delete. Let's take a look. Can I get away with it, or is it going to clip? Okay, so I can get away with it right here, but right about there is usually where the clipping starts. Yep. Okay. Then we can do the outside rail, which would be this guy. Let's see if he's going to allow for it. It's right there. I mean, I don't like it. We're getting rid of it. I mean, I could have left it because this is not the main save, but you know, kind of shows my thought process here. Yep. So the inside switch goes to the inside, the outside goes to the outside. We've got 3 more points to hook up here real quick. Overall, it's not a long process to build these. So we need the inner rail. And this one we could do with ballast because that's not going to be a problem. All right, there we go. Oh, and see, you were messed up right now. The inner rail was not on the inner rail. Let's see here. This is the one we need. Boom, inner rail. And then we need the outer rail. There we go. Now, the problem with this area is right here. If this hill was just a little bit lower, this would be a perfect place, right? Unfortunately, if we keep going straight, it goes beyond 30% slope, which is not ideal at that point. 2's fine, 1 to 2, great to do. 3 is questionable. 4, don't do it. At least to a certain extent. I mean, you could do a 4% grade, but you can start losing traction. I don't know if it's that realistic in this game or not. But I know in my own model railroad that was designing, the guy at the model shop's like, just be careful because, at 4% it's going to be really steep, and that could cause, keep it from being able to get up the hill. Oops. I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Let's see. And so I do have a 4% grade, but it's for smaller locals, and it's only going to be pulling a couple of cars. Actually, after looking at the TT scale, I'm pretty sure that's the route I'm going to be taking. So, I mean, it just fits better in my space, and hopefully at some point in time, we'll start. I did it again. Inside for inside. There we go. And there we go. Nope. I had it right the first time. There we go. And then the outside rail. And the outside. This one is definitely wrong. There we go. So, like I said, inside rails, inner loops to the inside, outer to the outer. So let's go ahead and delete those. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start with, so we're going to use this bridge here. I find that this is the best bridge to use. And we're going to just grab this guy and we're going to bring him over to the first loop. We're going to do the outer loops first. Then we're going to go to the inside. So out to in. You could do vice versa, or you could do it in any order you want. This is just the way that I'm going to do it. Just because, you can either kind of do like a sewing set pattern, up, down, whatever. Or you can do it this route. Either way it works. So we'll do this. Right here. It makes that nice curve. That's great. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to jump up. There we go. That was perfect. That was pro moves. And we're going to do this curve here. So what this will do is this will allow me to have directional rails. I wish there were signs in this so that I could show my thought process here, but to give context, this rail heads this way and that way. So, and then the other one heads that way and then that way. So I don't know if that made sense. Hopefully it'll make sense at some point in time. Basically, long story short, there should never be a point, truly, with the exception of the rail yard itself, where a train may be going back and forth on the same set. For the most part. They should always have their own directional points. Okay, so this is where we're going to bring in these patterns here. Oop, jump up, maybe. There we go. So let's go ahead and do the straights. Like I said, you can do this any way you want. I'm just doing the straights now. Then we'll do the inner loops. So basically, I'm connecting all four corners. I don't know if this is efficient or not, but this is the way I'm doing it. And somebody asked me how long does it take me, and I said about 10-15 minutes. We're at the 14-minute mark. I think I could, go a little bit quicker. I had redone this multiple times. when I was first setting this up, and I think I got down to 10 minutes. Now I'm kind of out of practice, but it is what it is. Oh, we forgot to delete an extra piece here. Or did we? No, wait. No, we didn't. Why did I get confused there? Let's get that guy in. Maybe, did I have the loop heading the wrong way? I don't know. For some reason it seems a little short to me, but it clearly it isn't. Unless I miscounted my... No, that looks right. Okay. So let's continue these straight patterns here. Looking good so far. There we go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm connecting the main lines to their straight patterns. What I recommend, especially when you get over here, is get some way to get up to these points. Would be ideal. It looks like I did miss a slight area. You can always do kind of like a U shape too. Try to avoid some of the that crookedness right there that you may have seen. You see how it kind of juts over a little bit. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's there. It's noticeable. You'll notice that on the main file too. I'm not sure if these are just slightly off. I mean, it's excusable. It functions fine. You're really only going to notice that in the smaller points. So let's go ahead and do the inner portions now, and then we will do the inner loops, and then we will look upon what we had done. Oop. Come back over here. We need to make sure that these are properly connected. We do not want derailing. It looks like I forgot a straight. Let's get that fixed. And looks like, yep, I got a straight to fix. Not a problem because we have to come over here anyways to start the loop. Okay, we'll jump up here. There we go. And we start with the first loop here. And it's just going to loop over here, and it's going to connect to this point here. Now it should curve. Yeah, it gives a nice curve there. We'll do the same over here, and we'll keep jumping around. There we go. I don't think that this little bit's going to be a problem. It doesn't seem to have any actual collision. I hope it doesn't. But we'll see how it fares. You know what? Let's do this inner corner right here because this will be the most difficult. And so what will happen is over there it will curve back over into the main line. That will curve back, come back into the main line. This should roughly be correct. Oops. Nope. I just overlooked it. For some reason, I thought I connected to a 45 by accident, but I didn't. We're good. Outer loops, inner loops. I've got 2 more inner loops to do. We'll finish where we started, and that'll be great. And we can run up the hill real quick. Someone was pointing out that this reminded of an old Lionel setup, so maybe that's where this 4-way started. I got this idea. I typed in 4-way rail setup or something like that, or railroad, and it came up with a factorial setup. I thought, well, shoot, that looks just what I'm looking for. And then I saw it was, multiple people had posted it, so I'm not sure who was the OG of it, or if they got it from some other game or some real life. So it's hard to credit who it was, since I was using multiple photos. But that's the way I found it. I did not make this up. This was not my brain making this up. This is something I found. So, and I adapted it to this game. Now, the best way to view this is to go up this hill over here. So let's go up here. But what I was trying to figure out is a way to get across to the logging station, down the track to the oil fields, the refinery, etc. Because I believe some use some various items. We just gotta kind of Skyrim this and find the edge that will work. And yeah, that works about right. So right here, I don't know if you can see the cursor right now or the center of the screen. This side comes in this direction. Okay. So what it allows me to do is, since this is what I'm going to call the inner rail, allows me to use this outer curve here to head that way towards the smeltering. Well, let me look up the smelter. And yes, I've set up quick travel points, so we're good there. Or it allows me to go straight, or it allows me to go on an inner loop here to the outer rail, which is what this guy is here. So the outer rail can, since it goes this way and this way. So if you're coming from the sawmill, you can use the outer loop to go that way, or you can use the inner loop to go onto the inside loop rail to go that way, or you can go straight. So basically what it allows you to do is it's set up in a way that prohibits you from getting into the direction of an oncoming train. It prohibits that because it's directional. It will only go in the direction of the rail that you've chosen it to go. Not to say that there aren't other places on this railroad that will allow you to go the wrong direction. But this will, as long as you got the locomotive at the front going forward, it will always go on the proper track. So the only other thing I need to do is add in a crossover so that if for some unforeseen reason you do get on the wrong side, you can correct that issue without causing crash. If you got any questions, comment sections down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Got any any other feedback is welcome. Next time I may tackle the industry. I've got to work on the rail setup over here a little bit more before I can tackle this piece. I'm working on it. Hopefully soon enough I'll have something. The rail going down into the valley for the smelter has given me a headache and a half. So I may have a rail set up over there when I record that is not the final form. We'll see. But thank you guys for stopping by and have a great week.